Handing your 10-year-old a smartphone feels like giving them car keys without driving lessons. That quiet anxiety when they close their bedroom door is valid because their digital habits are quietly shaping their brain and your relationship right now. Most parents think locking down the device with strict software is the answer, but that common advice gets it backwards and creates instant rebellion. By the end of this, you will know exactly how to set up the right digital safety net together, making it calmer and far more doable than you fear. Before we even think about downloading anything or tapping through settings menus, we need to talk about the conversation happening right before the setup. Picture this. You are sitting at the kitchen table, the new phone is in its box, and your child is practically vibrating with excitement. If you slide the phone across the table and say you are installing a tracker to see everything they do, you have already lost them. They hear surveillance. They hear a lack of trust. But if you frame it differently, everything changes. You are not installing a spy tool. You are setting up the seatbelt for their digital car. I want you to imagine the relief your child will feel when they realize you are not trying to read their secret messages, but rather protecting them from things they are not developmentally ready to handle. The app we are going to walk through today acts as that seatbelt. It does not drive the car for them, but it keeps them safe if they hit a patch of ice. When you explain it as a training tool rather than a punishment, the resistance melts away. They actually want to know the boundaries, even if they will never admit it out loud. Kids crave structure, even when they push against it. Now, let us get into the actual mechanics of getting this set up, and this is where most parents get tangled in the technical weeds. You will start by creating your parent account on your own device. This is your command center. Keep your password somewhere safe, because if you lose access to your parent dashboard, you lose the ability to guide them. Once your account is live, you will take your child's phone and download the companion app designed specifically for their device. Here is where a lot of parents miss a crucial step. Do not just grab the phone and do it in silence while they watch. Make them sit next to you. Walk them through the pairing process. When the app asks to link the devices, usually through a simple code or a quick scan, let them be the one to do it. Let them press the confirm button. This small shift in physical agency changes the entire dynamic. They are no longer the subject of an investigation. They are an active participant in setting up their own digital environment. As the devices pair, you will see a prompt asking for various system permissions on their phone. This is the part that makes parents hesitate. The app will ask for things like location access, device administration rights, and notification listening. It looks invasive if you do not understand why it is asking. But there was one real problem when I first did this. I denied the permissions because I was nervous and then wondered why the app was not working. You have to grant these permissions for the safety net to actually function. Think of these permissions as the sensors on a car. You cannot expect the backup camera to work if you refuse to turn it on. Let us break down those permissions so you feel completely confident in what you are allowing. Location access is usually the big one. You are not asking for this to track their every micro-movement like a detective. You are asking for it so you know they made it to school safely, or so you can find them if they wander off at a crowded festival. When you grant location access, choose the option that allows it all the time, not just while using the app, because safety does not take a break when the screen goes dark. Device administration and accessibility permissions sound scary, but they are simply what allows the app to enforce screen time limits and block inappropriate content at the system level. Without these, a clever kid could just force close the app in 3 seconds, and the whole setup is useless. Explain this to your child. Tell them you need to give the app permission to manage the phone so that when it is time for bed, the phone actually goes to sleep. Honesty here builds massive trust. And this one small shift changes everything. When you explain the why behind every single permission you are granting, you transform from a dictator into a guide. You are showing them that technology requires responsibility. If this is helping you feel more confident about navigating these tricky digital conversations, subscribing is the easiest way to keep these practical parenting ideas coming. Because the digital world changes fast and you do not want to be caught off guard by the next big app trend. Now we arrive at the part most parents rush through, which is setting the first key restrictions. The dashboard on your phone will give you a dozen different sliders and toggles. Screen time limits, app blockers, web filters, social media monitoring. It is incredibly tempting to lock everything down to the absolute maximum on day one. But that is a trap. If you restrict everything on day one, you have nowhere to go but to loosen up later, and your child will view every loosened restriction as a victory they won by complaining. Instead, start with just 2 or 3 core boundaries. The most effective first restriction is always a hard daily time limit and a bedtime lockout. Picture what happens when you set a bedtime lockout. The phone simply goes to sleep at a specific time, say 8 o'clock on a school night. No screens, no scrolling, no late-night notifications disrupting their sleep cycle. Think about the morning after the first successful bedtime lockout. You will notice a difference in their mood, a slower wake-up, and a much calmer breakfast table. This single boundary does more for their mental health and your morning routine than any other feature in the app. The second restriction should be an app blocker for the things they are simply not ready for. Maybe it is blocking the browser entirely, or maybe it is hiding a specific game that is too violent. Set these limits together. Ask them how much time they think is fair for homework and relaxing. When they help set the initial screen time allowance, they are far more likely to respect it. They feel heard. But remember, the app is just the enforcer. You are still the parent. When the timer hits 0 and the screen locks, they will test you. They will ask for 5 more minutes. Hold the line gently but firmly. The part most parents miss comes later, when they realize the app is doing the heavy lifting, so they do not have to be the bad guy. The app is the bad guy. You get to just be the supportive parent. But navigating those first few weeks of pushback and figuring out which specific filters actually matter for your child's age can feel overwhelming. If you are feeling stuck on how to handle the screen time battles or the inevitable arguments about why their friends have different rules, I put together a free sample chapter of my Parenting in the Digital Age Guide. It breaks down exactly how to handle the most common digital power struggles without ruining your relationship. You can grab that free chapter linked right below in the description. It is a quick read, but it will give you the exact scripts to use when your child pushes back on these new limits. Once the initial setup is done and those first restrictions are live, your job is not over, but it does get easier. You need to schedule a review. I recommend sitting down every 3 months to look at the dashboard together. Show them the data. Show them the pie charts of how much time they actually spent on their favorite game, or how many times they picked up the phone just to check a notification. Kids are often shocked by their own numbers. This is where you transition the app from a strict monitor to a coaching tool. If they have been responsible, if they have respected the bedtime lockout and not tried to bypass the app, this is when you reward them with a little more freedom. Maybe you extend the daily limit by 15 minutes. Maybe you unblock a new app they have been asking for. This teaches them that digital privacy and freedom are earned through responsibility, not just given because they reached a certain age. It completely changes the way they view their phone. It stops being a toy and starts being a tool they have to manage. Think about what would happen if you never set these boundaries. You would be constantly nagging them to get off the screen, turning every interaction into a power struggle. The resentment would build, and they would eventually find a way around your rules anyway, probably in secret. By using this setup, you remove the emotion from the enforcement. The technology handles the boundary, and you handle the relationship. There will be glitches. The app will occasionally block something it should not, or the location will drift. Do not let technical hiccups ruin your confidence. Just troubleshoot it together. Show your child that technology is not magic. It requires maintenance and patience. When you model how to handle a tech problem calmly, you are teaching them digital resilience, which is arguably more important than the screen time limits themselves. Raising kids in this era is hard. We are the first generation of parents to have to navigate this territory without a map. But you are not doing it alone, and you are not doing it wrong by wanting to protect them. You are giving them the scaffolding they need to eventually stand on their own in a digital world. As you go through this setup today, remember that the goal is not to build a digital prison. The goal is to build a digital playground with a fence around the deep end. They will test the fence. They will shake it. But if the fence is strong, and if your relationship is stronger, they will eventually learn to play safely inside it. Which part of this setup felt the most daunting for your family, or what is the one screen time rule that actually works in your home? Let me know in the comments, because I read every single one and we can learn a lot from how other families are handling this. Take a deep breath, open the app, and start building that safety net together. You have got this.